Trump news at a glance. Insurrection Act on the cards, says Vance, as President touts peace in the Middle East. J.D. Vance confirms White House seriously considering invoking 1807 Insurrection Act as Trump heads to Israel. Key U.S. politics stories from Sunday the 12th of October at a glance. The Trump administration is considering ways to invoke emergency powers, including utilizing the Insurrection Act of 1807, which would allow President Donald Trump to deploy troops on U.S. soil in the event of major unrest. Despite legal pushback, Vice President J.D. Vance has confirmed the White is seriously considering the idea. The president's looking at all of his options, he told NBC's News's Meet the Press on Sunday, adding that, "We are talking about this because crime has gotten out of control in our cities." The acknowledgement came as President Trump boarded a plane for Jerusalem, where he is scheduled to speak at the Knesset and meet families of hostages set to be released from Gaza on Monday after helping to broker a major peace deal. The war, he proclaimed, was over, adding that relations in the Middle East would normalize. Trump, looking at all options amid threats to invoke Insurrection Act, Vance says. The White House is talking about invoking the Insurrection Act that would allow the deployment of military troops on U.S. soil to quell domestic unrest amid legal challenges over the moves, J.D. Vance confirmed on Sunday. Vance was asked on NBC News's Meet the Press whether Donald Trump was seriously considering invoking the emergency power to deploy National Guard forces and even the U.S. military in domestic settings. Trump says, "War is over in Gaza as Israel awaits release of hostages. The war in Gaza has ended and the Middle East is going to normalize," Donald Trump said on Sunday as he flew to Israel, which was waiting for Hamas to release Israeli hostages as world leaders were gathering to discuss the next steps toward peace. "The war is over, you understand that," Trump told reporters on board Air Force One as he began a flight from Washington, D.C. to Israel. China warns U.S. of retaliation over Trump's 100% tariff threat. Beijing has told the U.S. it will retaliate if Donald Trump fails to back down on his threat to impose 100% tariffs on Chinese imports as investors brace for another bout of trade war turmoil. China's Commerce Ministry blamed Washington for raising trade tensions between the two countries after Trump announced on Friday that he would impose the additional tariffs on China's exports to the U.S., along with new controls on critical software, by the 1st of November. Trump officials reportedly consider selling student loan debt to private investors. Officials in the Trump administration are reportedly weighing the possibility of selling portions of the federal government's $1.6 trillion student loan portfolio to private investors, which experts say could carry risks for both taxpayers and borrowers, potentially reshaping the student loan landscape in unpredictable ways. MAGA figures backed Bukele's call for Trump to crack down on U.S. judges. Donald Trump is not known for taking advice, especially from foreign leaders who often seek to flatter and compliment the U.S. president, writes The Guardian's Jason Wilson in this feature on the El Salvadorian leader's thoughts on the U.S. judiciary. El Salvador's authoritarian leader Nayib Bukele has followed a different tack, he writes, by calling on the Trump administration to follow his example in impeaching corrupt judges. Read the full story. What else happened today? Cavalier and aggressive. Why are border agents flooding into U.S. cities? The Guardian's Manvi Singh has this piece on how border agents have become a key force in Trump's migrant crackdown. Catching up, here's what happened on the 11th of October 2025. We know. Seeing these messages is annoying. We know that. Imagine what it's like writing them, but it's also extremely important. One of The Guardian's greatest assets is its reader-funded model. 1. Reader funding means we can cover what we like. We're not beholden to the political whims of a billionaire owner. No one can tell us what not to say or what not to report. 2. Reader funding means we don't have to chase clicks and traffic. We're not desperately seeking your attention for its own sake. We pursue the stories that our editorial team deems important and believe are worthy of your time. 3. Reader funding means we can keep our website open, allowing as many people as possible to read quality journalism from around the world, especially people who live in places where the free press is in peril. The support of readers like you in Bangladesh keeps all that possible. At the moment, just 2.4% of our regular readers help fund our work. If you want to protect independent journalism, please consider joining them today.